This is KTVO's Good Morning Heartland.
Welcome back. It's been a warmer and drier than normal winter thus far, but that doesn't mean we're in the clear. Soon we'll be driving in snow and in some cases ice. And in order to keep yourself and other drivers safe, you have to be prepared. This morning we have Sergeant Brent Bernhardt with the Missouri State Highway Patrol here with us to talk more about staying safe on the road during the winter. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me this morning.
And thanks for coming in. So we're talking about winterizing your vehicles during the wintertime and staying safe on the road. What is the #1 rule when it comes to driving in bad weather?
The keys to safe winter driving is planning and patience. Planning ahead and paying attention to weather forecasts, not only in the area that you live, but the area that you plan to travel to. Also, it's a good idea to make sure that your vehicle is mechanically sound for wintertime travel, making sure that you have an adequate amount of fuel. This time of year is very important in the event that you do become stranded along the roadway at some time. But if the weather conditions are bad and the road conditions are snow or ice covered, it's very important that drivers drive at much slower speeds. Typically, when we have traffic crashes this time of year, it's caused by drivers that are driving too fast.
All right. And you just you said about finding yourself maybe stranded, or if the conditions are so bad that you can't see and you have to pull over. What should somebody do in that case?
Anytime that you do come along, you're driving and maybe the conditions get really bad, you can't see, the visibility is not good. We encourage you to get well off the roadway in a safe location. But if you do become stranded, turn your hazard lights on, stay with your vehicle if you're in a safe location. Hopefully, if you have a cell phone, you can dial 911, or you can contact the Missouri State Highway Patrol at star 55 or 1-800-525-5555.
All right. Let's talk about snow tires. Are they required?
Snow tires in Missouri are not required, but it is a good idea to make sure that you have a mechanic or somebody reputable that can look at your tires to make sure that they have adequate tread to give you better traction as you're traveling over the snow-covered roadways. A lot of people in Missouri do still use studded snow tires, and they're only legal to be used after the first day of November till the end of March.
Okay. And when it comes to being prepared during the winter months, we have a couple things on display. What should you have in your vehicle? One
of the things that you really want to be prepared for is, in the event that you do become stranded, that you have plenty of warm clothing. A lot of times when we see people that have been out in a stranded vehicle, they're cold, and so making sure that they have coats and gloves and blankets, always a good thing. Flashlights, a first aid kit, and maybe battery booster cables in the event that your vehicle needs to be jump started. Last but certainly not least, make sure that you have an ice scraper so that you can clear all the snow and ice from your vehicles before you travel.
All right. And we know that the holidays are coming, and we know that a lot of people will be attending, Christmas parties or New Year's Eve parties, whether at work or at friend's house. And we know that drinking and driving is obviously against the law. But what should somebody do if we're driving and we suspect somebody ahead of us that is an impaired driver or driving under the influence?
The Missouri State Highway Patrol takes removing the impaired driver from our highways very, very seriously. About 30% of all of our fatal traffic crashes are a direct result of the drunk or impaired driver. If a motorist sees somebody that's driving impaired or driving in a careless manner, we encourage that they call the Missouri State Highway Patrol or their local law enforcement as quickly as possible to give us that information so that we can respond quickly.
All right. And with the holidays approaching, obviously you'll have more troops out there patrolling the streets. Can you talk more about your holiday patrol units?
We're going to be very busy over the holiday season. There's never a good time to be involved in a traffic crash, but Christmas holiday season, we know that a lot of people are going to be spending time with family and friends, and we want them to do that safely. We also know there's going to be a lot of celebrations, and certainly this time of year is warranted for that. But we want to encourage motorists, if their plans do include consuming intoxicating beverages, that they choose a sober designated driver.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
And we'll post all this on our website at heartlandconnection.com.